Hello guys, I want to quickly talk to you about the annotated bibliography. Now, you should have done something like this before, but it's okay if you haven't. Don't worry, we're going to go through it. Basically, an annotated bibliography is just a document that's designed to help you figure out what kind of sources that you might be looking for, specifically once you have looked at a couple of sources or found a couple of sources that you think you might want to use. The annotated bibliography is a document that's designed to help you decide for sure if those are sources that you really do want to depend on. Are they reliable or not? So at this point, we should have all gone into the MLA format and citation folder and read through the good and bad secondary sources information. If you haven't, go back and do that now. Alright, so if you are ready to proceed, then what you want to do is you guys will click on this annotated bibliography template, open that up, and you will see this. Excuse me. So, with any document that you submit, you have your MLA heading, you need a title, essay number, whatever essay it is for. In this case, it'll be essay number 2, I think. When I'm making this, we're working on essay number 2. We're going into essay number 2. But whatever essay it is, you would just put in the essay number there and the label of what kind of document it is. This is the annotated bibliography. Alright, so for what you would do if the body of this document, for each source that you have, and we should have, I believe, a minimum of 3, possibly 3 to 5. Check the details of the essay requirements for that. But you'll put in here whatever source it is that you're citing. You'll do the full citation as it would appear in the work cited, starting with author last name, comma first name, title of the source, and so on and so forth. It would change depending on what kind of source it is. But for whatever source, you would go through these questions. You would answer each one of these questions, starting with, how does this source contribute to the information about your literary piece? How does it relate to your thesis statement? Basically, how does it relate to what you're trying to prove or what you're talking about? Then, identify 2 or 3 concrete details from this source that you might use in your research paper. Basically, 2 or 3 specific details, whether it's a quote or a statistic or whatever it might be. Then, is the author of your article, book, or website credible or trustworthy? This is a huge question that we must assess, especially here in the annotated bib. Explain why they are credible or not, and give an example. Then, what kind of evidence does the author use? If this is a secondary source, does the author use primary sources to convince the reader of his or her position? What kind of data is used? So, guys, a primary source, if it's like a research thing, that's where the person who wrote the article, they're the one who did the research. They're the one who collected all the data. A secondary source usually would be someone writing about data that someone else collected, information that someone else got firsthand. So think about what kind of information is being presented. And you would do that for however many sources you have until you're done. Now, the annotated bibliography, this is not like something that's set in stone. Your source list can change, but this is a planning document. This is something to help us get things together. If you have questions, as usual, send me an email, and I'm happy to help.